Today I'm going to tell you a story about the bravest puppy I have ever known in my life, and this is Honey Girl. When Honey Girl was a few months old, she was accidentally poisoned with slug pellets, and she ended up having fits and everything, and nobody knew what had happened, but my niece had accidentally given them to her thinking they were sweets, and she was only 6 years old, so she didn't know. And she absolutely doted on Honey, so it was not malicious in any way. But anyway, we nearly lost Honey Girl that night. And I remember being really, really distressed and upset about it. And we had to drive her to an emergency vet and take her to Leeds. And at the time we lived in Halifax. And when we got there, they looked at her and they said, she's not going to make it tonight. She's going to pass away and there's nothing we can do because it's in her system. So poor little Honey Girl had a really rough time at that point. I'll just move that bag there. And she had a really rough time. Do you remember, baby? As a result of that anyway, she obviously made it because she was a big brave girl and very tough. But it left her with a phobia of the vets. And even the word just sends her into a... It makes her worried. Don't worry, Honey Girl, you don't be going there again. Little puppykin, she can't cope with the word. But anyway, about a month or so back, little Honey Girl got really poorly. And she got so poorly that it was just awful. Because she stopped eating and stopped drinking. And she just stopped functioning. And we didn't know what was wrong with her. And she just started going all floppy and lethargic. So we phoned the vet and they said bring her in tomorrow, which we did. And they said she's severely dehydrated, but we don't know what's wrong. So they took some bloods and then they kept her in. And they said we're going to have to keep her in overnight because she's going on a drip. And we're going to give her some antibiotics. So she was put on the drip, but the vets was unmanned. Now, we know that she was really, really poorly at this point because she just didn't care. If you say, we're just going to go and see that doctor, she just freaks out usually. But at that point, she's like, I don't care. Because she understood that she needed to go. But anyway, she stayed there all night on her own. Didn't you, Honey Jane? She stayed there all night on her own and they put her on this drip. And she was in there till the next morning. And then the next day we went to have a look at her and they said if she doesn't start eating and drinking of her own accord, then we're going to have to do more investigation. But at this point we were talking, I think we paid £600 at this point already. By the time we'd done with her, it was 800 and something pounds, which basically wiped us out that month. So we were on like bread and biscuits or whatever. We were eating rubbish for the rest of the month because this happened at the beginning of, I think it was July. Anyway, long story short, we thought she's not going to make it and we were really upset, me and Paul. And it was the day after she came home from the vets, we took her for a tiny walk and she had a poo. And in the middle of it, what was there, Honey Girl? A stone. And it turned out it was a stone that had done it. And she'd eaten the stone and swallowed that and it had got stuck in her belly and it had obviously had to work its way through her system. If we hadn't have taken her to the vets, she wouldn't have made it because by this time, I think it was 4 days it took to come out. And the only thing that saved her was the drip, because obviously there was rehydrating her. Otherwise she wouldn't have made it. So little Honey Girl is a little miracle girl. That's 2 times Mummy's nearly lost you, puppy, isn't it? And she's 11 years old now. In fact, in September, which is coming up next week, Honey Girl will be nearly 12. 12 years old, puppykin. It's really funny because Paul has started working days. He's always done nights for the last couple of years. And he started to do days. So now our whole routine has changed, which means I have to have them more often. Can you see the van out there? The one next door to me is Paul. So he's out all day, 5 days a week. And so 3 days a week I have the doggies. So on my days off, they're with me now all day. Whereas before, they was mostly with Paul. So they've turned into a pair of titty girls now, because it's like, I want my mummy now instead of you, Paul. So it's changed my routine, which means that my days off now, where I used to spend writing and doing my own thing, is now spent entertaining these two babies. So yeah, I'm taking them for a walk soon. We're going to go to the beach and we're going to have a nice time. Yes, we're going to go and have a nice time at that beach. But I thought I'd just do a little vlog about Honey, because I haven't been on for a while and doing vlogs and doing catch-ups. I thought I'll just do little videos of what's happened here and there, and that was one of them. So we're just happy to have Honey Girl back, aren't we, Honey Girl? And she's ready for her adventures, because we haven't been having them, have we? We've hardly been doing any because Paul's Jeep isn't working, and that's the adventure Jeep which we use to go off the beaten track. So it's a case of, let's get that fixed and get on the road again. I've got 2.5 months until the end of season, and then it's part-time work for 3 days a week and plenty of time for adventuring. So we're going to be doing that, aren't we? Yay! Anyway, I will go for now, and I will see you later.